So what's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another vlog. So in today's vlog, I'm not gonna label this one as real estate related. This is going to be about another venture that I started a couple months ago, which is in the trucking business. Now, I know a lot of you are probably like, why did you get into the trucking business, or why would anybody want to get into the trucking business? And I'll give you the short answer on why I went into the trucking business and decided to start a trucking business. Sometime last year, I got kind of introduced into trucking and how people make money with trucking through a friend of mine who was taking a course on being a third-party logistics coordinator or a freight broker. And I found it really interesting. I was like, oh wow, so you basically put everything together, that way the driver just drives his truck and makes his money. At about the same time, I also got introduced into the Hood Estates trucking course. Shout out to Pocky and everybody over there. They had an interesting course that you could make passive income through trucks. So I took the course. You know, it was a really good course, very thorough. Gave me everything that I needed to know, and in reality, if you're trying to figure out what else comes after that course, you're literally just gonna have to buy a truck and just start talking to people and just get the wheels turning. You're never gonna have 100% knowledge on whatever you do until you actually do it. So I went ahead, me and my partner decided, you know, hey, we can go half on a truck. What way are we gonna go? So we tried the finance route. It didn't work out. Just because the interest rate was extremely high. We didn't have a CDL, we still don't have CDLs. And it was too much red tape that they wanted us to jump through. So I was like, you know what, forget it, let's try to do this cash. And a lot of people would be like, why would you put so much money into something like that? And the short answer is, you know, I'd rather lose my own money than lose somebody else's money, because now I owe them money. And I don't like owing money for something that didn't work out, versus I can just sell the truck and, you know, we tried it out, it didn't work out, and it is what it is. With that being said, you know, we decided to buy a truck cash. We found a truck. You guys might have seen it 2 videos ago on the truck that I bought, and discussed a little bit about the trucking business. But now I ended up finding a driver, and before I go any further as far as finding the driver, there are some parts to this that I want to make known why I'm doing it this way. So I chose to lease on my truck to a 3PL company. Now, most of you guys, experienced truck drivers out there, are like, oh man, you need your own authority and you need to get your own authority. Yeah, you know what? That's cool. Getting my own authority is great, but I did not want to deal with those headaches. And I say headaches because I want this to be as passive as possible. And if there's parts there that I gotta be involved in, I don't want to do it. That's why I leased my truck onto the 3PL, and I found a driver. I didn't have to come up with my own authority, no DOT, no MC number, none of the insurances other than physical and bobtail, none of that stuff. I just don't want to deal with it. I want this to be as passive as possible. So I leased my truck onto the 3PL, and I found a driver, put him in there, and let the 3PL manage everything. The only thing I have to worry about is when the truck breaks down or needs any type of maintenance, which part of the trucking business, right? So back to finding a driver. So I found a driver. He actually used to run his own truck with the 3PL company, and he was like, yeah, you know, I'm looking for a truck to drive. I'm looking to get paid 30% of the gross profit of the truck, and you know, the truck will gross $9,000 a week. So I did the math. You know, I'd probably be making about $2,500 a week after everything is said and done. Fuel, tolls, whatever it may be, it would have been covered. I decided, all right, let's do it. So I flew him out here. He stayed a couple days while we coordinated on getting the truck up and rolling. Got the truck rolling, and away he went. So I'm gonna give you guys some real numbers here, okay? This is what it cost me total after buying the truck. So when I got my phone here, the first thing that we did was we flew him out, and the flight was $350 for a one-way ticket from San Antonio, Texas to Charlotte, North Carolina. Which, you know what, it is what it is. We had to fly him out here. I wasn't gonna make him pay for his own plane ticket, because that would be absurd. I need him. He needed a job, but I needed to get him out here into the truck. It's not my fault I'm way out here in North Carolina. So $350 for the plane ticket. and it was an additional $70 for the one night that I was expecting him to stay. He had to stay longer than expected because I was still waiting on my tag to come in the mail for the truck. They were supposed to send that out on Friday. We actually didn't get the tag until Wednesday. Now I used the tag program that the 3PL offered just because it was a lot cheaper than me trying to get it on my own and a lot less headaches. So I went with their route and they charged me $70 a week, or it's like $50 or $70. I'll tell you guys in a minute, to use their plate program. So it's taken automatically out of the settlement. I didn't have to come out of pocket any money. So he ended up staying 3 nights here. So 70 times 3, $210 for the hotel, and then an additional $350 for the plane ticket. So we're already invested into this $560 after, of course, purchasing the truck, doing the maintenance that it needed. I did an oil change, we changed fuel filter and a bunch of other stuff. Basically all the filters on the truck costed us about $650, and then an additional I think it was like $2,000 or $1,500. I don't remember what it was exactly. I have the receipt somewhere, but total maintenance that we did on the truck was about $3,000, and that was including changing 4 tires. And we went with brand new tires. We didn't do recaps because, in my opinion, recaps, and in case you don't know what a recap is, you're gonna have to YouTube it or Google it. It's basically where they strip the tread off the old tire and they literally glue on a new tread onto the tire. Now, in my opinion, it's a great option if you need to get out of a bad situation and you don't have the money for a new tire, but you should change it out and get a new tire eventually, because if you ever drive down the highway and you see all those tires or tire pieces scattered out all over the road, those are usually recaps. They suck, they're not long-term solution in my opinion. It's like buying a used tire for your car. You want something new, that way it's not gonna blow up while he's driving. So we're all in this about $560. I did also give him some money for food because he had no money whatsoever and he was expecting to start driving the truck immediately. So I gave him an extra, $150 for food. So now we're in this $710. He gets on the road, he starts driving Wednesday. So that first week that we had our settlement, I'll tell you exactly what it was, and I'll also even pop it up here so you guys can see it. So during that first week, the truck grossed, as far as revenue goes, the load revenue was $2,500. After the 3PL took their cut, which was about 20%, we were left with $1,875 gross pay on the truck. Now, he did have to use their fuel card, which they did supply a fuel card. So again, fuel is not coming out of my pocket. And we get a 50 cents per gallon discount off of all of our fuel. And we spent about $217 in fuel, not including the first tank of diesel that I had to put into it. We put $300 in diesel when he left. That way he didn't have to fuel up and have to worry about paying him back for it. All the deductions that they gave me, plus renting the trailer. I don't own a trailer, so it's $150 a week for the trailer. So the total cost between fuel and all the other fees that are included, my fees were $1,429.25. So literally my net after that was only $445.75. Now he only pulled one load, and he was only able to pull in one load before the pay period ended. So this is definitely gonna be like the first week of trucking sucks always. So I wasn't really worried about it. Now I did have to come out of pocket to pay him, because we had to pay him 30% of the $1,875. He is not in charge of those adjustments. That's basically my problem. And what I mean by adjustments is all the stuff that we had to pay. His total paycheck was $562.50. So we had to come out of pocket about like $100, give or take, to pay him, because our gross was only $445. So yeah, we came out like $110, $120. I'm not really exact on the math. Out of pocket some more money. So now we're out of pocket almost $1,000, okay? So then the next week he ran pretty solid. He didn't run a full week. And to be honest, I don't know why he didn't run the full week. But that second week, total revenue was $5,200. And out of that $5,200, after they took their cut, their 20%, we were left with $4,160. So the truck grossed $4,160. My adjustments, including fuel and all the other stuff, escrowing some of the repair money, and the plate permit, IFTA miles, and driver vehicle use. No, that's some other tax form that I had to fill out. Basically, the adjustments were $1,969. The net amount that the truck made, net, was $2,190. So I paid him $1,200 out of that $2,190. So I was left with $942. Not bad. If you look at it from a rental standpoint, typical rental income is about $900 a month, and that is not net. That is usually gross. Then you gotta pay your loans, insurance, taxes if you don't have it in cash. And you will have a rental that's gonna cost you at least $60,000. So we got 1 month of rental income in a week. Fantastic. In my opinion, that's great. That's way better than real estate. But here's the problem. The second week came along. Now after this week, this was a great week. He didn't work the weekend. That Saturday, he told me, hey, for some reason, the AC is not working right on the truck. And he's in Texas, mind you. A lot hotter than North Carolina. So when he left, it was working fine. But as he's in Texas and putting a bigger beating on the AC system decides to die. And when I mean die, like he was roasting in the truck, and he told me I can't drive like this, and I wasn't gonna make him drive like that. In my opinion, that's not his fault, that's my fault, it's my truck. Sent it off to the repair shop, they repaired the issue, my driver came to pick it up. The next day, the AC still was not working. We went through this whole problem for an entire week. So lost revenue, plus the truck was not running right. So I was out of pocket $1,000 for the repair on the AC, and then out of pocket maybe another $1,000 in revenue. If you really want to, even though I didn't make the revenue wasn't made, I take it as a loss because the truck did not run at all. Not one day did the truck run. He, during that pay period, I think on Sunday, he did run the truck once and he made like $600. So basically all the money that I made the previous week went into repairing the AC system, which if you guys were wondering what was wrong with it, the Schrader valves where you input, your high and low side, they were both leaking. And then once those were replaced and refilled, the actual, not the condenser core, but the evaporator core underneath the dashboard had a hole in it. How did it have a hole? I don't know, but it had a very small hole. It was leaking oil out of it, and the dryer was plugged up. So placed both of those parts. Now I got a brand new AC system in the truck. Great. You know what? In my opinion, it's nice and serviced. It's done. Don't have to deal with it. Don't have to worry about it. It has fresh new oil, fresh new refrigerant. That thing is blowing ice, ice, ice cold. So my driver picks up the truck on a Friday and doesn't work the weekend. That's not part of our agreement. His part of our agreement was, he's supposed to drive about 70 hours a week off, 32 hours, and then jump on for another 70 hours. But he wasn't doing that. Okay, he was only driving maybe like 50 hours a week, so basically wasting 20 hours every single week. So then he drove again, and during that week he grossed another $5,100. Yeah, it's about $5,100 is what he grossed. So again, another $1,200 paycheck was gonna come his way. But the previous week he grossed the pay was like maybe $160 from that one load that he got. So I didn't pay him for that. It was rolling over into, actually payday for him is actually today on the last week that he had ran. So he ran last week, runs the full complete week. AC is running great, truck is running good. One thing I also forgot to mention was there was a blowout on the trailer, which caused them to kind of like fall behind a little bit. I did not have to cover the tire on the trailer because it's not my trailer. That had to be covered by the company that we rented the trailer from. So we went ahead, he ran, had a great week. Saturday, I get a text message from him telling me that he quit. So here I am now. I'm upset, don't get me wrong. I'm upset because he didn't give me at least a notice. He didn't give me 2 weeks. He literally just up and quit on a Saturday while, I was pissed. I still am kind of upset just because I wish I had more time to find another driver. So now here I am looking for another driver, and I'm pretty much out, like, I don't even know. I'm out of pocket right now. When I say out of pocket, like my total expenses right now on that truck, I'm out of pocket about $1,000 to $2,000 to get it running. Now I know that I can get another driver in it. I know that we could, you know, find somebody. It's just tough right now because nobody wants to work. And because nobody wants to work, it makes it really hard to find anybody that is interested in working. And then some of these drivers want some type of ridiculous pay. Some guys want 35% of gross, some guys want 50% of gross. And in reality, that does not work at all. If you're a driver and you want that kind of ridiculous amount of money, think about it like this. Why would I give you more profit than me when I own the truck? I own the liability. I'm not making these drivers pay for the maintenance. I'm not making them cover the insurance. All that stuff is coming out of my pocket. And guess what? If you crash the truck, whose name is on that truck? It's me. It doesn't matter who's driving it. They're never gonna sue the driver. They're gonna sue the owner of the company, and they're gonna sue the owner of the truck. Whoever owns the truck carries the liability. My opinion, if I'm gonna be making only $100 to $200 a week, and you're gonna be grossing way more than I am, or you're gonna be taking home way more than I am, then to me it's not worth having a truck, and I'll sell the truck and you won't have a job. I know that a lot of people are gonna disagree with that, but that's the reality. If it's going to cost me too much money and be a major liability in my life, then I'm going to delete it because it is not worth it. And the same thing for, you know, rental income. If you're paying way more money in mortgage than what you're paying for what you're getting back in rent, to be honest, don't take on that type of responsibility. Get rid of it, because you are going to be one day stuck with something that nobody wants, or you're going to be stuck in a position where you're losing money tremendously and you have no way to get out of that. Absolutely no way to get out of that. But, you know, that's life. That's just the way things are, and it sucks that it's like that, but that's just the way it is. So far, this trucking adventure thing, would I do this over again? Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. The reason is, if I made $900 in 1 week and he barely made $5,000 in that 1 week, I know that if he were able to gross like 9 grand, then I would gross at least $2,000 in a week. $2,000 a week, that means we'd make, let's say he ran 3 weeks straight, that's $6,000 a month. $6,000 a month, all in on the truck, I'm about 30 grand, plus all these other expenses, 35,000, let's just say, just rounding up to the highest number. So I'm in 35,000, making $6,000 a month. You know, that's a good return on investment. I'm like making over 20%. A rental property is never gonna make that type of money in a month unless you get some type of crazy deal that you concocted, which I'm sure that it could happen. Not saying it's impossible, but just saying that, you know, the likelihood of that happening is pretty slim. I don't have any rental properties that produce that type of return on investment, except for maybe a few, and they were really good deals, like the bullet hole house that I have been showing off on my Instagram. I technically didn't pay anything for that house. I literally bought it for $0. Like, literally, the agreement was for just taking over the mortgage and paying the closing costs. Closing cost was about $2,000. Closing cost of $2,000. I own a house, no down payment. So my $2,000, I can rent that house out for about $1,000. So my return on the $2,000 is $500 a month after paying the mortgage, $400 or $500, which is also not bad. You know, you're talking about a really good return on investment, really good return. You know, those returns don't exist. You know, and we got equity in that house as well. So as far as the trucking business, definitely I would do it again. Buying the truck again, I would do it. If anything, I wish I would have bought 2 trucks instead of 1. That is my only takeaway to that. And the reason is because if I would have had 2 trucks running, if one breaks down, at least the other one can cover any problems that the other truck has, and vice versa. Because definitely having 1 truck is never gonna be a good idea. I'm gonna be honest with you. If you're just gonna buy one truck and only have one truck running, you're not really gonna produce a sizable income to truly be hands off. Like right now, I'm struggling to find another driver, when if I would have had another truck running, I would have had some type of income coming in to cover whatever that truck is gonna cost me as far as maintenance goes, or insurance. You know, if I had a truck payment, you know, buying 2 trucks at the same time definitely would have been a good plan. But, you know, that's why I'm working on getting a second truck. That way we can kind of diversify ourselves as far as, you know, worrying about, hey, is this truck on the road? Is it not on the road? If that truck goes down, where's the money going to come from for maintenance? I don't want to have to apply any of my own money. And when I mean my own money, like take money from my wholesale business over to the trucking business. You know, I don't want to do that. I want the trucking business to pay for its own problems. Even if I don't make anything, I at least want that to happen, because if I'm breaking even, at least I'm doing okay for now. Now, will those problems, you know, go away over time? Will I find a driver? Who knows? I think he quit not because he wasn't making enough money. He wanted more money. That was another thing. He wanted more money. He wanted like almost 40% of gross. I told him no, I'm not gonna do that. And the reason why he asked me for that is because he had his own truck running, blew the motor on the truck, and he didn't have the money to fix it. Even though he was taking home about $6,000 a week. A lesson for all of you guys out there starting a business, any type of business. Don't think that that money is gonna last forever, especially in trucking, man. Trucking, you got money one week and that the next week you're covering repairs with the money you made. Things that can go wrong will go wrong. You will lose money all day long, things will break, and you gotta cover all of those expenses, whatever they might be. So he was making $6,000 a week. If he ran 3 weeks every month, that means he was making $18,000 a month. The repair that he needed done on the truck was $22,000. He ran the truck for 8 months without any problems, okay? 8 months. So that is $144,000 that he made in 8 months. So I want you to think about that. Yeah, he had a truck payment that he had to cover on that, and you have your ordinary living expenses. That's not gonna total $144,000. I feel bad for the guy, but at the same time, I don't feel bad for him because he definitely did not manage his money correctly. And you should try to understand your finances, number one. If you can't control your finances, it doesn't matter how much money you make, you're always never gonna have enough money. That's about it, guys. So I know that this video was pretty long as far as going talking about the trucking business, and it definitely is a great learning experience. You know, I learned a lot. A lot of my wholesale failure experiences have kind of rolled into this. I know that nothing is perfect in the beginning. You have to kind of work your way up to things being profitable. So I'm hoping over the next 6 months we can become profitable and at least get one more truck running. That way we have that, you know, simultaneous income coming in. That way if one truck goes down, we got the other truck to cover, and the other truck goes down, it covers the other truck, or it's covered by the other truck. And my goal is to get 7 trucks. I know it's an odd number, but I figure 7 trucks. If at least 7 trucks are running, if literally all 6 go down, at least 1 truck can cover the majority of any type of incidents that I have going on with those trucks. And it would be a good income, be honest. You know, let's say even if the trucks were making $1,500 a week take-home pay for myself, and they run three weeks out of the month, $4,500. You multiply that by 7 trucks, that's a $31,000 income. Multiply that by 12 months, that's $378,000 a year, and I don't have to do anything. Yes, the 3PL is taking money. Yes, I don't have my own authority and I'm losing money. Yes, you know, I don't have my tag. I don't own the trailer. I don't own a lot of stuff. I only own the truck. One thing I do own is the income, and it's hands off. I have so much other stuff occupying my time, wholesaling being one of them. It's major impact on my life. But it is what it is. It is what it is. So I hope you guys got something out of this, enjoyed this, whether you are in the trucking business or not, or thinking about getting into the trucking business, or you just wondered what the heck was I doing with a freaking truck in the first place. And you know, I appreciate you guys watching, appreciate you guys asking me about the business. I was glad to let you know about it. Hopefully I can do another update soon when I finally find a driver. At the moment I don't have anybody, so if you are looking for a job, hit me up on Instagram, hit me up on YouTube. Dan.Buys.Houses on Instagram, and you know, as long as you have 2 years experience or more and have no DUIs, no type of traffic violations that would hinder you from driving a truck or cause you to be a huge liability insurance wise, hit me up. I'm hiring right now, 30% of gross, and we'll see where it goes. So thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed this, and I'll catch you guys on the next vlog.